For 3 years, my father had one answer for everything I felt: walk it off. He said it the first time when I was 15 and came home from practice barely able to breathe. He said it the last time on the night my heart nearly stopped in front of 30 relatives. It started with the running. I'd been a decent soccer player until my sophomore year, when my chest began to tighten during sprints, and my heart would slam so hard I could feel it in my teeth. I told my dad. He'd played college ball and had a rule about complaints. You didn't make them. Everybody's tired, he said. You think I wasn't tired? You push through. When I asked to see a doctor, he laughed and said he wasn't spending good money so someone could tell me to toughen up. My sister Marin was the only one who took me seriously. She was 2 years older and had watched me go from the fastest kid on the block to someone who had to sit down halfway up the stairs. When I said something felt wrong, she didn't roll her eyes, but in our house it became a bit. My dad started calling me Glass, short for glass-boned, and it stuck. At cookouts, he'd tell the story of his son who needed a nap after mowing half the lawn, and everyone would laugh, and I'd laugh too because that was easier than the alternative. By that spring, I was exhausted in a way sleep didn't fix. My ankles swelled. Lying flat at night, I felt like I was breathing through a straw. I told my mom. She said I was probably anemic and to eat more spinach. My dad's 50th birthday landed in May. My mom went all out. 30 people, a rented tent, my dad's brothers driving in from 3 states away. 2 days before, the pressure in my chest turned into something heavier, a dull ache that didn't let up. The morning of the party, I could barely climb out of bed. I found my mom in the kitchen and told her I thought I needed a hospital. Not today, she said, not looking up from the deviled eggs. Your father has been looking forward to this for months. I got dressed anyway. Buttoning my shirt left me winded. Downstairs, uncles were already clapping me on the back, and I smiled and shook hands while the room tilted at the edges. Marin caught me gripping the counter. You're the color of a napkin, she said. What's going on? I told her my chest, my breathing, all of it. Her jaw set. That's not nothing. We're going. She went to find our parents, and I heard the argument start in the kitchen. Her voice climbing, my dad's going flat and cold. He's been milking this since he was 15, not tonight. They seated me at the head table beside my dad. Sit up, he muttered. People came a long way. I was soaked through my shirt. My grandmother touched my arm and said I felt clammy. He's fine, my dad said. He just likes an audience. Then the ache became a fist. I couldn't get a full breath. The room narrowed to a pinhole, and I slid sideways off the chair onto the grass. And the last thing I remember is Marin shouting for someone to call 911, and my father saying, don't, he does this. I woke up 2 days later in a cardiac ICU with wires taped to my chest and Marin asleep in the chair. It was myocarditis, my heart muscle inflamed and failing. The cardiologist told my parents that my heart had been struggling for a long time and that I'd gone into acute failure at the table. A few more hours, she said, and they'd have been having a very different conversation. She said it slowly, twice, so it landed. My dad didn't say anything. My mom kept repeating that they hadn't known. The relatives who'd laughed at the glass jokes for years had watched me collapse, and there was no punchline waiting on the other side of it. One of my uncles came by the next day and quietly said he was ashamed he'd ever laughed. I recovered slowly. I moved in with Marin while I got my treatment sorted, because I couldn't go back to a house where my own body was the family joke. My parents have tried to apologize. Maybe one day I'll be able to take it. For now, I've unlearned the thing they spent 3 years teaching me, that what I feel doesn't count. It counts, and I'm done letting anyone tell me otherwise.